Hey, welcome back guys. Now in today's video I'm going to break some of my rules. I'm actually going to be talking about one of the coins that I've just recently added yesterday to the whale fuel module on Mutual.ninja. So this is if you don't already know, this is a paid membership area, so you wouldn't normally, or at least I wouldn't normally be promoting this on YouTube for anybody to see, but it's such an interesting project I just wanted to make a video on it. And let's go take a look. It's actually free to sign up as Mutual Ninja. All you need to do is come along to this website, Mutual.ninja, and get yourself a profile. But here in the Masters area, this is, as I say, it is a paid membership area. Currently just a one-off lifetime payment, so no monthly recurring fees. This is the one we're going to look at. There's 5 modules in here. This one, the whale fuel module. This is the one which basically we have an algorithm which strips all of the coins from CoinMarketCap, and every single week on Sunday we go through the list of undervalued coins and pick out 3 absolute belters which we feel could definitely make you a significant amount of money. So let's go take a look at that. So over here on the right hand side we have a little screenshot of the inside area. I'm just going to briefly run through with you. This is the Undervalued Millionaire makers. So the idea here is the algorithm, well, as part of the algorithm, it basically levels out all of the coins on CoinMarketCap. It's currently about 1,600 coins, and it works out if they all had a market cap of $4 billion tomorrow, what would we make the most money on if we invested today? Or at least that's a very brief overview. It does actually look into a lot more in terms of trading volumes and other things, but that's the main idea. So how much would we need to invest today in order to make $1 million if it hit a $4 billion market cap someday? So over here we have Stellite, and we would need to be buying up 745,000 coins, which today would cost us only $242. Yesterday, when I run this algorithm, it was $306. However, today, $242, 21% down. So I actually went over to TradeOga and I bought these myself today. So just before we get into all the numbers of this, let's just go take a look at the difference between Electroneum and Stellite. You'll see there isn't actually a lot of difference at all. Stellite here has a $21 billion coin supply, and if we take a look at Electroneum, here we go, Electroneum, again, max supply 21 billion coins. These are basically the same project. Electroneum came out first, and then Stellite just sort of copied, if you like. It's kind of like the copycat one, but at the end of the day, Facebook copied the likes of MySpace and all the ones that went before, and they ended up coming out on top. So you never know, you don't necessarily have to be first. So if we have a look at Electroneum, it peaked here, it was just over 18, was it? If I can move this in the right place, it does at some point there reach 19, or you almost saw it there. Yeah, 19 cents was its all-time high back in January, and since then it's just slid all the way down to where it is today. Few reasons why, the main reason being the whole market's gone down, so not too much to worry about there. If we take a look at Stellite, you'll see exactly the same. Now this didn't even come onto CoinMarketCap until, what is that, April, and then it's just come all the way down to where it is today, like ridiculously cheap. And if we have a look at the markets, you can see Stellite is only on 2, TradeOga being 1. That's where I went and bought the coins this morning. And if you have a look at Electroneum, it's been around for about a year now. It has lots and lots and lots of places where you can go and buy Electroneum, meaning there's more liquidity, more options for people to buy, which means more people do, and it's worth a lot more. So the market cap of Electroneum is currently 84 million. Whereas the market cap of Stellite is only, where is it? Is only 1 million, just over 1 million on Stellite. So worth about 80 odd times less, if that makes sense. So if we check out the projects and what they're all about, here Electroneum, we can see it's designed for mass adoption, instant payments, Also app-based mobile mining. Now I'm not sure where they're going with that right now, and you'll see why in a moment. But generally that's it. That's the idea. They're trying to create a system for micropayments to get into the unbanked people so that everybody can trade and buy and sell stuff using Electroneum. So they're looking for very fast payments using mobile devices and all of that type of stuff. Stellite, very similar. So they, if you go down here, we can see everyone can participate. Stellite plans to bring true mining to all devices, from smartphones to smart TVs. So they kind of one-upped on Electroneum there and added in smart TVs. So they also have their wallet, and we can take a little look at that. I'd rather go for a GUI wallet, so if we click that, you can see here you can download a Windows version, Mac or Linux. So I mean, I would be going for the Mac myself. And just while that's downloading, let's take a step back and have a look. Oh look, we got the GUI miner, so you can mine this using Windows, Mac or Linux, exactly the same. So it's available on all three platforms. And this is one of the key differences between Stellite and Electroneum, is the mining. So a few weeks ago, you might already know, there's been a bit of trouble with ASIC miners coming on to some of these altcoins and taking over the networks. Verge particularly, with the 51% attacks and lots of people losing money there. So it's all down to ASIC miners, and what those ASIC miners are is these little machines that are made predominantly or only for mining. Most altcoins you can mine with pretty much any device at all, just a normal computer running it on the CPU or the GPU, and mine coins that way. And obviously with them looking to mine with mobile phones or smart TVs, it's pretty cool. However, with coins which get taken over by ASIC miners, which is sort of anti-decentralization, because the only people that can then mine the currency are people that own these ASIC miners. And ASIC miners are only made by a company in China called Bitmain. So it's a pretty undecentralized system at that point, which is why Verge got the 51% attacks. And Monero being the main coin on there, as you can see, this is all of the kryptonite coins. And Monero wanted to get away from being mined by ASICs because it was something new that happened this year. So they forked away and created Kryptonite version 7. Electroneum, Graft, Stellite, they all followed Monero into being ASIC resistant because it's pretty much the common sense way to go. Electroneum, they sort of had a bit of an accident with it somewhere and stuff didn't really work too well for them. So what they did is, if we just scroll down here, you can see where they talk about it and basically try and make their excuses. We got the reintroducing of ASIC miners. So on the 5th of July, they actually went back to being mined by ASICs. It was something to do with their algorithm, the way they tried to make it ASIC resistant. It just didn't work for them. So with all that blah, 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 blah stuff, let's just check out the profitability. So if you're looking at mining, you can see here I've got 7,200 hashes per second. So if you've got a decent mining rig, maybe with some Vega 56s, something like that, you should be able to get roughly around the sort of 7,000 hashes per second. Now per year, if we have a look at, let's not do that. Per year, we're going to be looking at $3,000 per year mining Stellite, which is pretty good. And if we go down to Graft, you can see it's just 2003. The big daddy of Kryptonite being Monero, 2002. So at the minute, Graft is just a bit more profitable, but still nowhere near Stellite, which is 3,000. So obviously, if you're mining on something like XMR Stack and you want to be mining something profitable, Stellite is definitely the one that's looking very good right now. And as I say, Electroneum is also on Kryptonite, but we've got to scroll all the way down to the bottom here, where you can see 1 year income would be under $100 mining Electroneum. Under $100. It's just not looking good for mining at all. When you compare that $100 of Electroneum with $3,000 that you could be earning mining Stellite, it's a no-brainer, right? If you're a miner, Stellite is the winner. But before you go thinking I'm like all hating on Electroneum and loving Stellite, The other difference between Electroneum and Stellite is actually in favour of Electroneum, and that is the team behind it. So the Electroneum team, I'm not sure if they actually show them on here, I don't think they do, but the Electroneum team, they're quite good at promoting themselves on social media, and you know who they are, and it's all sort of crystal clear, and I like them guys, and they're good, and you know that they're good. Unfortunately, with Stellite, it's a little bit ropier. So if we go down to their team and have a look through there, I'm not really sure who's actually in charge, and I don't like the ones which don't actually have an actual person, even though I'm never going to see them in real life and recognise them. Just, you know, why they can't just take the time to just take a photo of somebody and put them on the website rather than just a blank image, or maybe a cartoon image like this one. It just seems a bit unprofessional to me. So, you know, if they can't sort of get that together, plus this apparently is their core team, but we do have the operations manager, but who's the CEO? Who's in charge? Who's going to be held responsible for any of this? As I say, all a little bit unprofessional. I'm not sure I really like that, but, you know, for the sake of the numbers that we're about to go through, I would certainly just take a punt on it anyway. Okay, so now the bit I really love. This is where we get into the numbers and see how much profit we could potentially make with Stellite versus Electroneum. So right now, the current price of Stellite is 0.000326, and the previous worth of Electroneum I've got here as 15 cents. Now obviously I just showed you it was like 18, 19 cents early in the year, but if we don't want to sort of max out the profit and just take something a bit more conservative, we'll call this 15 cents just for these calculations. That would mean that the current price of Stellite would have to times 460 just to equal Electroneum's previous value of 15 cents. So if we took an investment of $2,500 and times that by 460, this is just to reach Electroneum's previous price, you would make with $2,500 $1,150,000. You're a millionaire with $2,500. Now I've got to say, before you go crazy and go put your life savings into this, I wouldn't personally feel comfortable, me or you, investing that kind of money. Not unless you've got maybe an investment fund of 100,000 or more. Now, over on our website, Mucha Ninja, if you go to the masters area, if you're not already a master, you're going to see this page here, which has a video about building your own $1 million crypto portfolio. In that, we go through some sort of risk management and how to actually structure a portfolio, what percentages to put into what different cryptos. This is basically, as I say, a little bit of risk management just to diversify your portfolio and make sure that you're not overexposed in any particular crypto. Now 1.1 million is quite good, but obviously investing $2,500 may not be for you. I know it's certainly not for me. So let's take a look at the current market value of Litecoin. Now Litecoin, just like everything else, is pretty far down right now, but it still has, even as low as it's gone, it has a market cap of over $4 billion right now. In fact, if you look, you know, it's almost $5 billion, and that's at a low point. So sometime in the future, maybe 2-3 years time, it certainly is possible that something like Stellite and Electroneum could also be up in the sort of $4 billion market cap. Now there's lots of reasons for that with the price of Bitcoin. It's got an ETF coming out sometime probably in the next year, so that's an exchange traded fund. When that comes on board, you're going to have a lot more sophisticated investors, banks, etc., investment funds coming into Bitcoin, and then maybe somewhere down the line all the rest of the cryptocurrencies as well. Now when all of the financial markets start trading in cryptocurrency, you're talking trillions of dollars coming into the market. So although there's people out there today which have already become millionaires by investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum early on, there is so much more money left on the table for people getting in today, and so much more opportunity at less risk. This isn't like the early days of Bitcoin when cryptocurrencies were untried and tested. Now they're here, they're looking like they're here to stay, they look like the old fiat paper money system will be going at some point, cryptocurrencies will be replacing it. So to get in today, definitely worthwhile. Anyway, before I jabber on anymore, let's just take a look at this. So, if Stellite was to reach a $4 billion market cap, we're talking roughly somewhere in the region of $1.36. Okay, and if you times the amount of coins that were needed from our algorithm that it worked out, that you'd need 745,708 tokens. And if you times that by $1.36, which is in the sort of $4 billion market cap range, you're talking you've made over $1 million. But wait a minute, right? How much did it cost you to buy that stonking amount of coins? Here we are back here, we have 745,708 tokens, which you could buy today at less than $250. And at one point, some point in the future, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, that $250 could be setting you up for a lovely $1 million payday. This has happened before, several times, to many people around the world which have invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum early on. It could definitely happen with something like Stellite. It's going to happen, no doubt, with many cryptocurrencies, and this is one for me that I couldn't resist getting into my portfolio because I think it's a really good one. So if you think that's useful information and you want to see more of this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe below, or maybe comment as well if you have yourself any questions. Also, if you're thinking about becoming a master and getting access to all of our cryptocurrency analysis tools and everything that we have there, please just bear in mind we have capped it now to 500. This was because we initially we just made these tools for ourselves, for our own investment funds, as explained in this video if you watch that. But because hundreds of people came on and actually bought that and tried signing up straight away within the first month or so, we had to put a cap on it, so we've capped it now at 500. Maybe some point in the future we might open it up again once we hit 500. But certainly no plans to do that right now, because we really want to concentrate on building new tools for cryptocurrency investors and just making what we've got even better. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again soon.